Welcome to SKJ Aptitude and Reasoning online classes. Today we start a topic called averages. This will be one of the most important topics for competitive exams as well as for those who are preparing at for placement point of view also. Let's see the basic introduction regarding this topic and let us try to go with the another topic. Let us see what is meant by average first, and then we'll discuss some example problems and also some actual problems which were asked in the previous exams. So what is meant by average? Average means the mean value or which is equals to the ratio of sum of given number of set of values to the total number of values present in the set. So this definition can be simplified as like this. So the average is defined as average of sum of observations divided by the total number of observations. So this can be written like this. Average will be equals to sum of observations divided by the total number of observations. This will be the basic formula which we'll use in our problems to get the answers. We are majority of the questions we are not using this formula approach, but we try to learn the basics regarding averages. This will help us to solve the problems of suppose sometimes this shortcut method will not applicable for the problems. In that cases, this formula approach will be help us to solve in a detailed manner and to get the answers here. So, and there is one more definition for average. Average means equal distributions or mean of the given observations. This point will discuss in the next some while moving further in the problems here. Next, average first was for a consecutive even numbers or odd numbers or consecutive natural numbers. Average is just simply the middle number. That we call it as a median of that number here. This point also will discuss it later in the model to problem here. Suppose let us consider an example here. What will be the average of 26, 32, 38, 22, and 34? And suppose by definition, what is the definition? Average is equals to sum divided by the total number of observations. So we need to add all these values here, and then how many observations are present means 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 observations are present. After adding all these values, we'll get 152, and the number of observations present here will be 5. So we'll get the answer as 30.4 as our answer. This is by general method or by using the formula approach. But suppose these are the smaller values, we add all the values and try to get the answer. But if these values are very bigger, then it is difficult for us to add all these values, and sometimes there is a possibility of getting the or while adding the values we will get some, suppose if we miss any of the numbers we will get some different answer or wrong answer. That's why we are adapting a method called a deviation method here. So with the deviation method we will get the answer in an easy manner, and we are eliminating the possibility of adding all the values here. So let us see the same example and by applying the deviation method here. So among these numbers, suppose the numbers are ranging from 22 to 34. So among these numbers, I'll assume my average as 30. You may assume any of the number as your average from these numbers. So for the time being, I'll assume my average as 30 in this particular problem. So I need to compare the assumed average and the number, whether it is greater or lesser. Suppose if it is greater, I need to take the positive symbol, and if it is lesser, I need to take the negative symbol here. Suppose if I compare 30 with the 26, it is lesser by -4. And if I compare 30 with the 32, it is greater by +2. And if I compare 30 with the 38, it is greater by +8. If I compare 30 with the 22, it is lesser by -8. And if I compare 30 with 34, it was greater by 4. So what I need to do is I need to cancel the similar opposite things here. So -8 and +8 get cancelled. -4 and +4 get cancelled. So the only thing I left here it is a +2 left here. So all will get cancelled. So the assumed average is 30. And how much deviation I'm getting here? +2 is deviation I'm getting as extra. For how many observations? For 5 observation I'm getting 2 as extra as a deviation, and I need to write like this. So the assumed average plus the amount of deviation you are getting for how many observations present in the problem. So it will be equals to 30.4. So if you observe in the previous problem also, we're getting the same answer here, 30.4. Now in this problem also, we're getting the same answer. So it will be easy for us to solve or getting the answer by comparing this method. So let us also discuss one more method here. So these are all some bigger numbers we are taking here. So among these numbers, so it is ranges from 65 to 105. So let us say in this, I'll assume my average as 80. And if I compare 80 with 65, it is lesser by minus 15, it is greater by plus 5, and it is lesser by minus 10, and it is greater by plus 10, and it is lesser by plus 20, it is greater by plus 25. So here plus 10 and minus 10 get cancelled. So plus 5 and minus plus 5 and plus 25 will be plus 30, and plus 30 minus 15, that will be equals to plus 15. So we are getting plus 15 as extra. For how many observations means for 5 observations. So what is the assumed average? So the assumed average as 80, and how much we are getting extra here? So we are getting 15 as extra. For how many observations means for 5 observations. So the average of all these numbers will be of 83. So this will be the easiest method to solve the average of a given set of numbers by using the deviation method. So let us discuss some example problems by using this method here. So find the average of 82, 74, 79, 86, 78. So we are solving this method by using the deviation method. So I'll assume my average as 80 in this one. Then compare whether how much it is deviation. So it is greater by plus 2, lesser by minus 6, minus 1, plus 6 and minus 2. So plus 6 and minus 6 get cancelled, minus 2 and plus 2 get cancelled. So I'm left with minus 1 here. So this minus 1 I'm getting deviation for how many observations means for 5 observations I'm getting this for a, so 80 minus 1 by 5, that will be equals to how much? 79.8. Suppose if you want to go with formula approach also, you can solve by using the same method, that is average equals to sum divided by the number of observations. 82 plus 74 plus 79, 86 plus 78 divided by 5. And if you add all these values, you'll get to 399 divided by 5. So we'll get the same answer as 79.8, which is presented in option B. And let us move to the next question here. This will be the next question. The arithmetic mean of 7, 5, 13, x, 9, he gave it as 10. Then what will be the value of x? So in this, he gave the average as 10 directly. So we don't need to assume any value. So the average will be of 10 here only. So by using the deviation concept, so we need to compare 10 with 7, 10 with 5, and 10 with 13, and 10 with x, and 10 with 9. So likewise, we need to find the value of x here. So if I compare 10 with 7, it is lesser by minus 3, and it is lesser by minus 3, okay, minus 5, and it is greater by plus 3. We don't know how much, if we know the value of x, we came to know that how much it is greater or how much it is lesser. So it is lesser by minus 1. So here plus 3 and minus 3 get cancelled. Suppose if we add these two values, I am getting minus 6 as extra here. So in order to get my average as 10, so it must be, the value must be present here will be plus 6. So in order to add plus 6 here, which means the number present here it must be 16. Then only I will get the average or the deviation as plus 6 here. So my value of x will be of 16 here directly. So this is the easiest way to find the answer. Otherwise, you can also solve by using the concept, that is the average we gave it as 10. 7 plus 5 plus 13 plus x plus 9 divided by 5, it will be equals to 50 is equals to 34 plus x will be equals to 50 minus 34, that will be equals to 16. So the same answer you are getting, which is presented in option B. So likewise, we try to solve this question. We'll continue this question in the next class. Have a good day. Thank you for watching the video. We'll meet in the next video, and we'll continue this video. Suppose if you are getting the answers for this question, meanwhile try to comment in the answer chat box. Have a good day. We'll meet in the next video.